Jeff Roberts.
Turner Gill's pass was intended for Jeff Patterson, but nowhere near him. So as he did against Hamilton, Turner Gill comes out and is a little bit shaky at the start of the ball game.
That was not a good throw. The first one he did complete to Ronnie Robinson. Of course, penalty nullified. That was a good throw. That time, he seemed not quite sure. Ron Robinson and Jeff Patterson both pretty close together.
Moret Ford is back to receive this punt along with Fran McDermott, and this will be Ford from his 35. This kid can fly. However, there was excellent coverage by that Montreal special teams, and they drop him right at the point where he caught the football. It's scoreless. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, there's a look at the Western Conference standings, and as you see, the Edmonton Eskimos have surprised everybody. They've jumped out in front. But, of course, that could change this afternoon as BC plays in Toronto. Saskatchewan, the only club in the Western Conference without a victory so far, although they do have that single point off their tie with Hamilton last week. And Montreal, the only club in the East without a victory. That could change this afternoon. But Ottawa, at the present time, leads Hamilton by a point. From the 35-yard line, Joe Pow drops the football, and the Concord have recovered. Doug Scott with the fumble recovery for Montreal, and those are back-to-back bad breaks for Saskatchewan.
Well, it's hard to understand how this ball ever comes loose. Joe Pow apparently just stepped away from the center too soon, and what an alert. Doug Scott to come up with that fumble. Here's another good look at it, but the Concord, 2 breaks in a row. Let's see if they can capitalize.
First down, Montreal at the Saskatchewan 31-yard line. Turner Gill scrambles to the 25, but there was a good job defensively by Saskatchewan. They bumped the receiver, Ron Robinson, coming off the line, and consequently, Gill had nobody to throw the football to.
That's quite true, Pat. The Saskatchewan secondary is really trying to be more physical this year, and there's a good look at it right there. Fran McDermott working on Ron Robinson. It appears as though McDermott took the worst of that, but he threw the timing off enough.
It's second down and 5, and the give is to Terry Lyman, number 24. Now, Lyman gets in close to first down territory before Steve Johnson, number 17, hauls him down.
You know, Leaf, one of the things happening with these two clubs is the fact that there's a lot of pressure on them. There is pressure on management in Regina. As a result, that's transferred by the coach Barry to the players, and there is certainly pressure on the Montreal Concord, a team that was expected to do very well, who came out and had that poor game against Hamilton. So now they've got to show they're much better than they showed in the Hamilton game. And it appears that both clubs are a little bit nervous.
Well, that's quite true, Bill. At the beginning of each season, you know, both teams do a marketing job and tell their fans they brought in new players here and there and expect to have good seasons. So until you get that first win under your belt, I think everybody's a little edgy.
Well, they've got to go for it right here. When I say they, I'm talking about Joe Galat and his Montreal Concord. It is 3rd and inches. The ball is just outside the 21-yard line. Gill keeps it himself, gets to the 20, and has the first down. So the Montreal drive, which began with the fumble by Joe Pow, recovered by Doug Scott, will continue. Well, they've got to put this one in the end zone if they're going to have some kind of a season, I think, Leif, because it would be a confidence builder. Doug Scott, whom you see on your screen right now, was telling me this morning, he said, we know we're a good football team, but we'd like other people to know it too, and I guess the only way they can do that is to have an impressive win here today. The toss goes to Dwayne Wilson, and Wilson gets to the line of scrimmage and not much further. Eddie Lowe, number 42, the linebacker, is there to bring him down. Montreal is playing very conservatively. I'm surprised that they haven't thrown the ball more this afternoon, but we're still early in the first quarter with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left to play. Play action fake, and now Gill is in a lot of trouble and will not get it away. Jeff Roberts, the newcomer from Tulane, 6'3", 235 pounds, is in there in place of Rusty Olson at the defensive tackle spot, and Roberts makes the big play.
He sure just blew right through there, and nobody really picked him up. Turner Gill never had a chance to set up and try and look downfield. Excellent defensive play.
Well, they've knocked them all the way back to the 36-yard line. So that's a loss of 16 yards.
Always nice to, when you have an injury, bring a newcomer in, and he starts early in the first quarter with an excellent sack.
McGrath is punting on 3rd and yards and gets it out of bounds. Now let's see where they mark it. It'll be somewhere around the 16-yard line, so they just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. It's still scoreless. Saskatchewan and Montreal. We'll be back in just a moment.
Jerry DiTilio is the bullpen man in the quarterback corps. Jerry, what are you trying to do offensively, and what do you think you can do against this club?
Well, right now, against the win, we just want to keep control of the ball, get some first downs, and we can't get a touchdown to, get our offense going, because we've been off for a couple of weeks now, and it's very important we get things going quickly.
And it's very important for Joe Paupow to move this football for Saskatchewan. His toss goes to Craig Ellis, and Ellis could not get outside. Good contained by Willie Hampton and Vince Faison, 62 and 18.
Well, Fred Fleming, our isolation director today, captures Willie Hampton, who's probably one of the most active linebackers in the CFL. He just scrapes to the outside, a good read, and makes a nice tackle on Craig Ellis.
And as a matter of fact, Ellis, who has 205 yards coming into this ball game, ended up losing a yard. Ball is at the Saskatchewan 8-yard line. Paupau's pass, no good, looking for Stu Fraser just off his fingertips. Preston Young providing the defensive coverage, number 17. That's the kind of catch Stu Fraser normally makes. He's a very reliable receiver, doesn't have great speed, but you normally hit him in the hands with the ball, he's going to come down with it. Now Dave Badowich will have to stand in his end zone to get this punt away. And Jeff Patterson awaits at midfield. Well, they ruled that he stepped out. He did get to the outside, and he felt that he was still in bounds. He was not, and as a matter of fact, they'll place the ball at about the Saskatchewan 48-yard line. It was a 47-yard boot, a 6-yard return. And next Friday night on the full CTV network, the Hamilton Ticats, who really took a pasting last night from the Ottawa Roughriders, will be in Calgary. And, of course, the Stampeders are smarting from the licking they took from the Edmonton Eskimos. So that'll be a good ball game, and we'll have it for you here on CTV. First down, Montreal. They've had good field position the last two occasions. Give us to Dwayne Wilson. The flag is down as Wilson breaks it all the way inside the 25-yard line to the 23. But holding will be the call against the Montreal Concordes. The 24-yard gallop by Dwayne Wilson will be nullified. And of course, as a head coach, those are the things that just drive you absolutely crazy. You see a big play wiped out.
Holding, Montreal number 50, first down.
Roland Mangold, right guard, is assessed the holding penalty.
Well, Pat, you can see right here, Roland Mangold, he got caught. He grabbed onto that foot, and that's the second penalty that's hurt the Concordes on the drive.
So it is 1st and 20. Montreal back at their 51-yard line. Gill sets up, fires over the middle. It is complete to Dwayne Wilson, and Wilson crosses midfield to the Saskatchewan 53-yard line. Billy Jackson, number 45, was there to bring him down. So they get back about 7 of the yards they lost on the previous play on the penalty.
So many teams like to use this kind of play. Just let the linebackers drop and bring a receiver underneath, and usually picks up 7, 8, 9 yards every time.
2nd and 13, Montreal. Needing a big play, Turner Gill fires it down to Brian DeRue, and he has the first down, and that's the big play we're talking about. Montreal down to the Saskatchewan 36-yard line. Fran McDermott hit him immediately, but Giroux picked up 21 yards on that reception.
Well, that's a great job by the Concordes when they can pick up a first down after 1st and 20, and the experience of Brian Giroux to find an open spot and just wait for the football, be patient.
That's his 5th catch of this young 1984 season. Gill again had to get away from the pressure. Now puts it up for grabs, and it is picked off by Jerry Friesen. Well, there, of course, was the ball that should never have been thrown. That's the inexperience of Turner Gill, but Roberts and Matthew Teague really had the pressure on him. So when we come back, Saskatchewan will have the football at their 27-yard line. We will be back in just a moment.
Well, Pat, you said it, and you were absolutely right. A ball that should have never been thrown. Looking for Ron Robinson. What a nice play by Jerry Friesen to go up and kind of clear the boards, as we say in basketball, to come down with that ball.
Jerry, of course, playing because of the injury to Ken McEachran. And he comes up with the big play that gives Saskatchewan the football at their 26.5-yard line. We're still scoreless with 4:50 left in the first quarter. The pass was complete to Sammy Green, but he took a lick from Harry Skipper the moment that the football got there.
That's good to see Sammy Green back in the ball game after what appeared to be a leg injury. And watch the hit by number 26, Harry Skipper. He led the Eastern Conference in interceptions last season, and he just unloads.
The injury, you're absolutely right, Leaf. It was to the knee, but not serious, as you can see.
The pickup by Sammy Green was 7 yards, so make it 2nd and 3, Saskatchewan. Pow's pass is caught by Stu Fraser, and they rule inbounds at the 45-yard line, so that'll be a first down, Saskatchewan.
Well, Pat, a guy that you certainly have liked over his brief career with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Stu Fraser, and Pow really stood in there tough to get that ball away. But here's a look at Stu, and very dependable guy, knows where the first down markers are, and make sure he stays in bounds, make the catch first, and that's a nice job.
First down, Roughriders at their 45-yard line. They set up the screen, and the moment that Stu Fraser tried to turn to get upfield, he ran into Ken Cianconi. But at least he caught the football. He might have been better advised not to catch it, but he was getting set to turn it upfield, and Cianconi was right in his face.
This fellow had just an outstanding college career at the University of Nebraska. And, well, who could forget that great Orange Bowl game they played last year against the University of Miami?
But, you know, as he talks to Joe Galat said, isn't it amazing? Here's a kid who has played, you know, before hundreds of thousands of people, but he said he was playing against boys. Now he's in against men, and there is a difference. The pass is complete to Sammy Green, who then takes the hit from Harry Skipper, but hangs on and picks up about 8 yards. Let's see where they spot it. They're going to spot it short. They will. They'll be about 1.5 yards short of the first down. And so Dave Badowich is in there to punt.
Pat, for the life of me, when you've got 2nd and 11, why a receiver stops 2 yards short of that first down marker, I can never understand it. And, you know, it's inexcusable. If I was Reuben Berry, I'd be having a quick chat with Sammy Green.
Well, I think the reason some of them do it, Leaf, and who would know better than you, is because if the yard marker is at 11 yards, it's a lot easier to catch it at 10, isn't it? Because that guy is not going to give you that extra yard, but that's your job, and you're absolutely correct.
You mean you never did it, Leaf?
Well, maybe once. Why do you guys always
It's amazing, Leaf, how perfect everybody gets when they get up in the broadcast booth. Never missed a pass, always with 10 yards.
Well, some of us are, though, of course. Jeff Patterson, who can really fly for the Montreal Concorde, is back, seeing if this punt is going to come to him from Dave Badowich.
It's Willie Hampton. It's hard to determine where they're working on, somewhere in the leg, and it's an extremely hot day here in Regina, and I think it could be cramp time for some of these players.
What a beautiful afternoon. It really is. And a crowd of somewhere around 25,000, I would suspect. A lot of football coming your way. Hamilton is at Calgary. That's the Friday night CFL game. Then Ottawa plays in Montreal next Saturday. We'll be there for that one. And really looking forward to it because I think that Ottawa with George Brancato, again, have another thrilling, exciting ball club. That should bring the fans out to the Big O in Montreal, and let's hope they do because the Concordes deserve the support, and Ottawa is a great attraction.
Of course, the next day you and I will do that Edmonton game in Toronto as well. And
boy, congratulations to Jackie Parker and his staff. Jackson has really got them cranked up in Edmonton. What a game they had on Friday night. Jeff Patterson allows this ball to bounce in the end zone, and now it rolls back towards the Roughriders. Patterson goes down, and no flag is down, so the single point is picked up by Dave Badowich on a 57-yard punt. 1-0 Saskatchewan as we go to Bill Stevens.
All right, Willie Hampton, now you've got a bit of an injury, but apparently nothing serious.
No, it's nothing serious. Just, I guess it's pretty warm out here. We got a little bit of a breeze. I got cramps in my calf muscles, but I'll be okay.
Let me ask you, they talk about Saskatchewan tough. Is this a tougher club that you're playing against this year than it was last year, do you think?
I think it is. I think it's a much tougher club. They basically got the same offensive line for the last couple of years, and those guys are real big and strong, and they have good people in different from last year. They're a bit stronger, I think, from last year.
First down, Montreal. The ball at their 35-yard line after that 57-yard single by Dave Badowich. The give is to Dwayne Wilson, and Wilson picks up about 5 to the 40.
Pat, you know, just getting back to that Edmonton Eskimo win the other evening, I'd like to congratulate an old friend of mine, Bud Riley, who's the defensive coordinator in Edmonton. I think he's just done a super job, and their defense played extremely well.
6 yards on the play.
Okay, the whole ball club played very well. Matt Denigan looked sensational. But, you know, Jackie knows the Canadian Football League, and he knows the game. So I'm not surprised that he's got them off to such a good start. The pass intended for Nick Araki was way behind him as Turner Gill continues to struggle.
Well, I think that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Araki was open. Frustrating for Turner Gill. He had him, but one of those defensive linemen was able to get his hand up.
You know, Pat, talking just for a moment again about Edmonton, Jackie Parker was a winner as a player, and it's obvious that he's got a winning ingredient as a coach, too, and it's awful nice to see.
Must be a fun time to be in Edmonton right now because the club is playing exciting football. You know, people do not expect them to win every game, and yet they go out there and look sensational against their big rivals. This is a good punt by McGrath that chases Moret Ford back to his 18-yard line. The flag is down, and so is Ford at the 40-yard line. Moret Ford is an exciting punt and kickoff returner. That's why Ottawa was reluctant to let him go, but obviously they had no choice. 51 yards the punt, 22 the return, but there is a flag on the play. Clipping called against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Gosh, it seems like on every kicking situation that the laundry flies and it's a clipping or a holding or a blocking from the rear or some kind of penalty.
See, now that's something that I don't understand. I don't know why a guy would clip when he knows that 99 times out of 100 he's going to be caught, because it takes place in the open field with the official looking right at him.
Well, I can't explain it either, Pat, because I know coaches I had time and time again would say, if you can't block him properly, pass him up, because you're only going to cost us 15 yards every time, and this is the case here.
We've got 1:44 left to play in this opening quarter. It's 1-0 Saskatchewan, and they are going with the wind in this opening quarter. Here's the call.
Holding, Regina, Saskatchewan, first down.
Well, they called it holding.
Let's have a look. I think it's number 22, Dave Singh, at the bottom of your picture will come in. And holds number 8, Aaron Hill. There, you see it right there. That's a good shot.
First down Riders from their 9-yard line, and this is Ellis. He turned the corner and fought his way to about the 15 for a pickup of close to 6 yards. Greg Seipert was there to bring him down, number 37.
You know, getting back to that holding penalty just now, he had about a 15-yard return. They bring it back 10. There's the 25 yards of offense that they've lost. So Makes it tough. You have to start deep in your own territory, and it's just inexcusable, those kind of penalties.
So the pickup was 6 yards. It's 2nd and 4, Saskatchewan, the ball at their 16-yard line. Now Powell puts it up, but right through the hands of Tim Pierce. So they'll be punting with the wind at their back and only 57 seconds left to play in this opening quarter.
By the way, Pat, that wind is not that strong. You know, for Taylor Field, normally there's a strong breeze always blowing. Well, it's a light wind. It might be a little heftier when it gets up high, as you can see by the flags and the goalpost, but it's not a great factor at all.
Well, that's good news for you, Bill. Keeps the hair in place.
Nice part about it, Leaf, is we all get suntans on the Montreal side of the field, you see.
Dave Batterwich, you can see he's having a good afternoon. And he drills this one to Jeff Patterson at his own 45. Patterson is an elusive guy. He crosses midfield, gets to the 52-yard line, and you can hear these Taylor Field fans are not happy. They felt the flag should have been thrown on that play.
Well, we'll get a chance to see it. Watch at the top of your screen, number 22, Mike Washburn. Now, it looks like he's going to clip. Now, he said he didn't touch him. I don't know. That's a clip to me.
49 yards was that punt and a 13-yard return, as McMahon is attended to on the field.
It's another cramp, I think, Pat, and they're getting a few of them down here because of the heat. But I think, as everybody knows who's been to Saskatchewan and especially followed football, one of the things that they don't do in Saskatchewan is drink the water, because you get a lot more than cramps. And they have strictly distilled water brought with them for Montreal in their hotel rooms, and they have distilled water on the bench here as well. So that's one of the ways they safeguard it. When they Leader Post here, the paper, was doing an interview, as a matter of fact, with Joe Galat. First two things he said: number one, he says, how's the water? And number two, how's the mosquitoes? The water's the same, and we don't have any mosquitoes yet.
Why didn't you tell me about the water last night?
Well, there's water and there's water.
Chuck McMahon, who seems to have been around since the league started.
Well, this is what the fans in Regina were a little upset with. There's number 22, Mike Washburn, coming in, and really was a clip there, and could have been called.
It's a 1-0